Hi everyone, I'm Nick Olivo, and today we're going to build a Bastion in Roll20. Before we dive in, I'd just like to thank Roll20 for sponsoring this video. Bastions were introduced in the 2024 Dungeon Master's Guide, and essentially they give the PCs a place to call home. Bastions are made up of two types of facilities. Basic facilities, which are your bedrooms, kitchens, parlors, stuff like that, and special facilities, which give your character some sort of in-game mechanical bonus. So, for example, having a smithy special facility gives your character the ability to craft arms, armor, and even certain types of magic items. And today, we're going to build out a bastion for my warlock, Jolo Copperladle. So I've already created and launched my game in Roll20. The one thing to know is that you need to use the 2024 character sheet in order to create a Bastion. So what we're going to do is go over here in the Journal tab in Roll20. We're going to create a character, and we're going to call our character Jolo's Bastion. And then we're going to save changes. And in this screen here, we're going to say that we want to build a Bastion. Now, once this screen is populated, we can click on this little edit icon here, and I can say, all right, Jolo's Bastion belongs to Jolo Copperladle. Our Bastion doesn't have any defenders yet. We'll talk more about that later. And in the description field, we can provide kind of what our Bastion looks like. We'll just say right now that it's a quaint cottage. And we'll save. Okay. Now, our Bastion starts out with two free basic facilities. Again, these are your bedrooms, kitchens, and so on. Now, I'd like Jolo to have a place to sleep, so I want to give him a bedroom. Now, we can click Add Basic Facility here and then manually key in the information. Or we can go over to the Compendium tab, click on Bastion Facilities, and then all of the Bastion facilities, both special and basic, are listed here, and we can just drag them right onto the Bastion sheet. So I'm going to drag on Jolo's bedroom. There we go. And you'll notice that the bedroom space is listed as cramped. In the Dungeon Master's Guide, the facility space table gives you a description of what cramped means. It means that cramped is an area no bigger than 4 squares. And your Bastion starts out with 1 cramped space and 1 roomy space. So Jolo's bedroom is going to be cramped, so 4 squares, which honestly is okay because Jolo's a halfling and 4 squares is actually a pretty good size for a halfling's bedroom. The other basic facility I want to give Jolo is a kitchen. Before Jolo was a warlock, he was a chef. And when he found a magical bottle of olive oil, it turned out that that was actually a genie's vessel, and thus Jolo became a warlock. So we want to give Jolo a kitchen, so we're just going to scroll down here. We're going to grab the kitchen. We're going to drag that on to our sheet. There we go. And I'm going to edit this so that this is not cramped. It's going to actually be roomy. And then we'll click Save. So now we want to add the special facilities to Jolo's Bastion. And if we go back to the Dungeon Master's Guide, we can see that the number of special facilities we have is based upon our character's level. At level 5, they have 2 special facilities. At level 9, they get 4, and so on. So if we scroll down here, we get a list of all the special facilities, and the first one that I want to add is an arcane study. Now, an arcane study lets you do a handful of things. For example, after you spend a long rest in your Bastion, you get a magical charm that you can use to cast Identify without expending a spell slot or using material components. But then your special facilities also include hirelings, and the hirelings can perform certain actions for you as well. You see right here, the arcane study includes 1 hireling who can be ordered to craft things, and these are the things down here that they can craft. So they can craft arcane focuses. They can craft blank books that you can use to journal your adventures or create spell books later on. Or they can craft common or uncommon magic items as found in Chapter 7 of the DMG. So to add an arcane study onto our Bastion, let's come back into our game. And we're going to scroll up here until we find the arcane study, and I'm just going to drag and drop that right on. And as you can see, it includes all that information we just saw in the DMG. Let's jump back to the special facilities table. And the other special facility that I want to include is going to be a garden, because Jolo is still a chef at heart. He's going to want to cook things. So when you create a garden, you can choose what type of garden it is. Jolo's going to create a food garden, which will allow him to harvest 100 days worth of rations every 7 days. Cool. So for that, again, back into our game, we'll scroll down here, grab the garden, drop it on, it's been added, and there we go. Now, just for my own record-keeping purposes, I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to name it Food Garden so that I remember exactly what type of garden we've got set up here. Okay, so just a couple of other things I want to mention here. Let's go back to the Defenders section for a minute. At some point during your adventures, your Bastion may come under attack, and if you're not there when that happens, your Defenders are the people who will actively defend it. The trick there is the only way you can have Defenders is if you have certain special facilities. For example, a barrack starts you out with 4 Defenders, and you get to name them and determine who and what they are. Other type of facilities, like the Menagerie, allows you to have monstrous Defenders. But you can also build walls in your Bastion to protect it from attacks if you don't have Defenders, and there is a gold piece cost associated with that. It's all listed out in the DMG. That one's really up to you. Jolo is a very low-key warlock chef, doesn't have Defenders right now, doesn't want to have barracks, and doesn't have the money to build up walls. So for right now, this is everything that we're going to do. The last thing I'm going to edit here is the level. Jolo is currently level 5, so thus his Bastion is level 5. So we're going to go ahead and put that in, save it, and then we'll close our sheet. And then my final thing is to actually create a map of my Bastion. And you can do that using a bunch of different types of tools out there. I'm just going to jump onto the map layer real quick. I've already created my map in Dungeon Alchemist, and I'm going to pop this into my game right now. And here we go. Let's go ahead and line this up. There we are. And so here is Jolo's. Quaint little Bastion with his bedroom that is 4 squares, his kitchen. We've got this hallway that connects the two. There's the arcane study and the garden. And now he's ready to move in. So there you have it. That's how to build a Bastion in Roll20. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing. And until next time, folks, have a great day.